Hey. So this is Stephanie, and I'm Tara, your host. So Stephanie is my long-term best friend. We have been friends since
2005.
goodness gracious, we're old, and it's 20,
I'm not old.
2023.
She's old. I'm not old.
I am. I'm older. But Steph is she is a believer in Christ, and she loves all things Christ, and she believes in the Bible as well. So it's one thing we can share together as we fellowship. So we're gonna be seeing you're gonna be seeing a lot more Steph and us doing this thing together. So I'm super excited for that. But Steph and I were just sitting we're in her kitchen. We're just literally talking about everything. But one thing that we're talking specifically about is handling our emotions when we're overwhelmed. This is improv, this is not planned. But I was like, man, this is really good. So we're going to share this. Steph was talking about when her father passed in what year?
That's such a good question. Hold on.
Take your time.
It's 2023. Ashton is 11. 10 years ago.
Wow.
On December 10th.
So take us a little bit about the feelings of losing someone. And some of you guys can relate to the feelings because some of you guys probably have lost someone close to you. I haven't lost anyone that close to me. So I'm going to share into Steph's feelings. What feelings and emotions?
Honestly, I just got to a point where me and my dad got close because we are always at ends with each other. We never understood each other. I was never my own person. I was a little girl with no opinion, according to him. And I got to a point where he accepted that I'm my own person and that I'm a woman. So, and I have my own feelings and ideologies and opinions. So, therefore, we just got to a point where our relationship was flourishing. And we were going out to eat 2 to 3 times a week and just hanging out with each other. It was kind of nice because I always felt like my dad abandoned me, even though that he was there per se, that he wasn't there emotionally. So, and I always look for that. I had daddy issues. So,
I love it. I love the honesty.
Yeah.
I love it. So after your dad passed, what were some of the emotions and feelings? And that's where we started talking about this, is when she was talking about how she went into a depression. A lot of times, and I can relate to this, we have so much going on in life, especially as mothers, and I want you to share that too, how it was as a mother. We still have to care for the kids. We still got to care for the husband. We still got to move on in life, even though tragedy hits. How do we handle those emotions? But how did you slide into a depression? What were the feelings maybe before and during that time?
Well, I definitely felt alone. And then my husband's a truck driver. He's over the road. He wasn't able to come home like that. It's not like he was just around the corner to embrace me or anything. I had to struggle through that alone. And then my mom also was going through it. So not only did I lose, my dad, I lost my mom, not physically, but emotionally. And she's always been my, backbone. So it was if I'm in distress or something, I go talk to my mom, but my mom's in shambles. It's crap, I gotta be the strong one.
I like that.
And therefore, with Caitlin took it extra hard. That's my oldest.
And how old was she when your dad passed?
She was 4.
Wow.
And she adored her pop. So he was always trying to pick her up and take her places. They had such a bond, and she looked like a little me. So I think that this time around, he was having he had a really good bond with her. So, yeah, she would cry herself to sleep. She would be crying all throughout the day. For about a good 5 years. It took about 5 years for Kate to get over it. Not even still over it, because, she still tear up. She's had a lot of encounters with death, and so have I.
Yeah. So you had to be there for her emotionally as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's hard because then I had to hold back my tears.
To let her know it's okay.
Yeah, to let him know that he's in heaven and he did make it there, and that one day we're going to be there and we have to live our lives, because she wanted to die and go up to heaven with him. Yeah, and that was really hard.
So trying to stay positive, I'm pretty sure was hard during that time. And we were talking about how when we get into a depression, sometimes we don't even realize we're there until, I know as for me, until it's a week went by and I'm still on the couch. I'm still being a mom, but in between that,
binge watching
Netflix, my gosh, yeah,
and trying to get out of your head.
Oh my gosh, yes. And the next thing you know, now you're on the couch, you're in an even more slump, because now I know I need to exercise. I know I need to go and do X, Y, and Z. And God, depression is not easy. And I can tell you, depression is not even easy in Christ lovers. You know, we are saved by the blood of Christ and we love all things Christ, but that does not mean that we still don't go through emotions such as depression. You know, we were just really talking about that. And I was telling Steph that for me as a mother, when I have situational depression, but I'm on it, I'm handling it. And it's just when life happens, I got to take an inventory of how much love and all that's in me so that way I don't go back into that slump. That's what the enemy wants us. But when I'm in my pit, there's no one to pull me out of that pit. My children are being children or living their lives. They have their own things going on. And my husband, you know, he works a lot, so he has his own thing going on. So if we're in a slump, a lot of times nobody will know. So there's nobody to pick us up out of despair except for Jesus. And his word tells us that he will bring us out of despair. So, and I was reading Matthew 11:29 this morning where Jesus said, "Come to me all who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest." It took me years to get that. Taking our worries to Jesus, our stress, circumstances.
And it's not always easy. I'm a stalker. I go through the stalking stages. Like, shoot, I was born a stalker. You see me up in your bushes. You see me driving and everything. I have to go through all that first. And then my last resort, it's not supposed to be like that. But then my last resort be Jesus.
It's life, though. Mm-hmm. It's life.
I mean, to be completely transparent, it's like because anybody that knows me knows I'm a little crazy.
I think women are in some type of way, shape, or form. We a little cuckoo, especially when we love. We really cuckoo. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we were just, you know, that was just something that we shared. And Steph, I thank you for being transparent about your father's death. I mean, it couldn't have been easy to lose a parent, you know. And I didn't know her dad like that. I think I met him just less than a handful of times, but I know her mom. So good woman, raised a really good woman. But yeah, so just depression, guys. Just because you are serving the Lord does not mean that we are exempt from feeling. And people look at Christians like we have it all together. I don't have it all together.
We're not exempt from the trials. Sheesh. Or the tribulation. We get hit more.
Oh my gosh.
Honestly, when you go and you pick up that cross of the Lord, you got a target on your back. Like just, yeah, I mean, it's true. Yeah. I mean, think about it. Mm-hmm. I've been shot with a shotgun. I've been in 10 car accidents, flipping cars, running into police officers. My life's been crazy. I've been stalked a whole bunch of times.
Yes.
Almost ran off the road.
Yes.
My windows always being banged out and out of my car. Have to always leave when it's raining and put some trash bags in my car.
Yes. She's stuff that people wouldn't even think. And she wasn't even a bad person. It was just, like she said, when you stand for Jesus, the enemy will target you at a young age, you know? Mm-hmm. So, Jesus.
I had some stranger put a gun up to my hip because I gave him a wrong number. Mm-hmm. But honestly, he's always smoothed all them things over. You would think that I would have so much fear. There was a portion of my life where I lived in fear. Actually, a big portion. I slept with my mom, little fun fact, till I was 14 because I was so terrorized, of the dark. And for y'all that, not even actually, you don't even have to be a Christian, but I used to see demons all the time. So therefore, they used to be popping up in my room and everything because my mom used to be into the occult. So therefore, and then she gave her life to the Lord. Well, he was still trying to get me to a cult, but little did he know, I was scared of cat. I ain't going anywhere near there. Mm-mm.
No, yeah,
But, yeah, you definitely have lots of trials and tribulations.
A lot. And which is, and you guys know with relationships at the waiting room, this is what we do. You know, we are big in relationships, we're big in marriage. And one thing Steph and I get to share at the same time is that we're struggling in our marriage. And a marriage takes two. So we can't say that it's all our spouse. But as we have been praying together, we're finding out that there's things that we have to also come off of. So we're going to talk about more of that as the videos go on, but we are in a stretching period. God is stretching us like a rubber band. We are in territory we ain't never been in. It's kind of like when the Israelites left Egypt and they went into the unknown in the wilderness. That is where we're at because God is asking us to do things that is out of our norm. It's out of our comfortability,
Yes,
like
yes.
this is really making us uncomfortable, but we know that God knows all, sees all, does all, so we know that he will give us better than what we have. So we're trusting, we're standing in faith and trusting God. But yeah, that's just a little bit that we have for you guys. We're going to be definitely subscribe